Hi guys, I'm Dejan Williams, and I'm not really from a production, just because that I am a beginner and I am still learning, and just wanted to share some things that I have learned from watching other things like other video games and YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I wanted to share with you guys. So yeah, so what makes a video game? Well, that's the reason of why a video game should be perfect or should be good. But the one thing that makes a video game is the fact that the key elements of the theme, the gameplay, the graphics, all of these things can tie up a knot to make you want to play the game. Now, I know it can sound a little bit challenging sometimes when you're trying to make a game, especially when you're using Unity 3D or Unity or for your iPhone or any other software device that you edit and make 3D games. Now, the thing about games is that nowadays it's more towards customization. How can I customize this to make my character much more powerful, much more athletic, much more good looking? And the thing about this is that customization traits can only have so much till it get to a point where it feels overwhelming. Even if you have just a little bit or just too much, or even sometimes even the right amount, it can still be more than what you need. Now, how do we prevent this from happening? Well, that's just it. Some people really can't decide what they want to do. And this is where they come into play, so depending on the game designer will actually have to make the choices and what should fit into the game and what shouldn't. Of course, this is his or her game, of course, but it still comes back to the gamer whether we should play the game or not. Now, let's take Call of Duty for example. With me, I have Call of Duty Black Ops. And the thing that I learned about Black Ops is that it's more towards a person customization traits that you can use for your character when you're playing online. Also, another thing about Black Ops is the multiplayer. And I've seen quite a bit from Black Ops. And the one thing that I see the most that has like a very huge lack in Black Ops is the campaign. Sure, the campaign is there, but honestly, who really plays the campaign that much? No one really plays the campaign that much. It's because it's more focused towards the zombies and the multiplayer online experience. Because that's what really draws everybody into playing Call of Duty games. It's more towards the customization traits. And this goes the same thing and same place for anything. That's gaming, of course. Now let's take Little Big Planet 2 for example. That's another one. I have this game with me. It's because that I wanted to make some music. Of course, it turned out to be something else that made me making music. It turned out to making more than just that. It turned out to making levels that I could publish online to other gamers. Now, so far I only published like 2 games with Little Big Planet 2. And it is very fun to play with sometimes. Sometimes it's more towards I'm depending on who's gonna come up with the next very cool level that I want to play with, or what game should I play next. Sometimes you will be depending more towards other people than your own self playing this game. It's because you want to feed off the energy, feed off the creativity, so you can make your own level shine in the spotlight. Now, this same thing happens with games, game developers. As you experience Unity 3D or any other software like Milkshake, you'll find that in games, there are multitudes of things that can attract and unattract a player, or gamer, if you will. And the thing about the gamer wanting to play the game is that for some gamers has to have certain qualities for in order for it to be regulated and very good to play. Now, this applies to both hardcore and casual gamers. Now, the reason why it applies toward hardcore and casual gamers is just because they're basically the same, except they both like something else different. It's more towards I want to just kill things for hardcore gamers. I want to kill things and destroy things. With casual gamers, it's more towards I want to live back my old school memories from the 1900s, 1990s, 1980s. It's more towards I just want to live in a time where it's just all mellow stuff. Which is why we have the Wii and the Nintendo. And the one thing that you'll find in video games nowadays is, with some video games, it's more like they try to push it far, but sometimes they push it just too far. Like Saint Rose 2, for example. In Saint Rose 2, you'll find that it does have some customization in it, which is awesome. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but another good example is Grand Theft Auto. But in Saint Rose 2, it feels that some missions are actually just too insane sometimes. It seems that they're pushing the boundaries just a little bit more than they should. And because it results in some gamers not really want to buy the game at all, just because it's just a little bit too graphic violence for them. And this is a big problem in games. If you have just too much graphic violence in the game, it can turn a player off, or a gamer off. Just because it has no appeal to the gamer, and it's just too violent for the gamer. Keep in mind that the gamers are actually all different. They all don't really like the same thing, just because that they're all different, of course. So try to mix it up sometimes in your own games. This will pay off in the long run. Another game is Killzone 3. Killzone 3 and Black Ops. If I were to compare these two games, I would say that in Killzone 3 is less of a customization perk. Sure, you can pick classes that you want to pick, but in the same concept, it's more towards things that should already be unlocked already, which they are if you're playing like offline. But with Black Ops, it's more towards you have to unlock everything. Everything is much more of a perk and a customization trait for you. And Killzone 3 is a little bit more opposite way of that. It's more towards everything's already unlocked, but at the same time, you have to unlock when you're playing online. Playing offline, then it's different. Everything is already unlocked playing offline, but if it's online, it's just already well, not unlocked, but just locked. Now, in games, they tend to have more of a backwards approach sometimes, which could turn out to be a disaster, sometimes not a disaster. But depending on what gamer you are, it'll just turn out just perfectly or just horribly. Now, thing about some games now is that the games have to be very, very intuitive. They have to be in a certain way in order to attract someone's attention. Otherwise, they'll turn them off too quickly. Otherwise, they'll frustrate them too fast and make them want to break the game, which is a bad idea for you and the game, and of course, the gamer. Now, you want to prevent this from happening just by mixing it up sometimes. You really don't want to keep the same flow happening throughout the whole game. It's because it starts to become more of a movie than a game. Sure, it's interactive, but it's still a game. Make sure that you have that in mind. Well, hopefully this did help you out a little bit with your game and your game designers. Yeah. So, bye guys.